What if the NFL playoffs was actually the NBA playoffs? That's right, today we are going to see who would win the NFL championship if they had to go through a best-of-7 series in every single playoff round. So the NBA does have this new rule for this year. It is the play-in game. That means I'm going to include it in this video. That means the 7 and 8 seed will play, which for the AFC that will be the Colts and Dolphins play. The winner will get the 7 seed. Then the 9 and 10 seed will play for the AFC. That's the Raiders and Patriots. Winner plays the loser of the 7-8 game. The winner of that game plays the 8 seed. And that means if the 7 and 8 seed, if they lose twice, they do not make the playoffs. Same thing for the NFC. At first, I wasn't even going to put this in, but I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. The NBA playoffs does have this. So I figured I better include this in the video. Another thing to note, on the NFC, the seeding is a little bit different because in the NBA, division leaders don't automatically get, or division winners don't automatically get the top seed. So Washington is actually only the 8th seed in this video, not the 4th seed. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. Alright, so the first matchup is the 7 and 8 seed game, Colts versus Dolphins. Winner gets the 7 seed. If I had to guess, I think the Colts would probably win this game. When I did the March Madden simulation, the Dolphins didn't even make it out of the first round. The Colts did. That would be my guess. But let's just see what happens. This is only a one-game simulation. The play-in game is only one game, so not best of 7 for these games. All right, who gets on the board first? So far, Dolphins with a field goal, 3-0. Now they're up 10-0 over the Colts. Now the Colts are 10-3. Now it's tied 10-10. Dolphins now have a touchdown, 17-10. We're going to halftime, 17-13. That's a safety. Now the Colts in the lead, 22. Now the Dolphins in the lead, 25-22. Can barely even keep up. Can the Dolphins hold on? So far, oh, now it's tied, 25-25. Can anyone score at the end? We are in overtime for this play-in game. The Dolphins score a field goal, and the Colts score the game-winning touchdown. The Dolphins are not yet eliminated from the playoffs, but the Colts will get the 7th seed, and they would have gotten that if there was no play-in game. So the Colts will be the 7th seed, and they will play the Bills. But the next simulation we'll be doing is the Raiders versus Patriots. So the next matchup is the Patriots versus the Raiders. Winner of this game gets to play the Dolphins. The loser is eliminated from the playoffs. Let's just see what happens in the simulation. If I had to guess, I would think it would be the Raiders, because in the March Madness simulation, they actually went on to the Elite 8, I believe. So, who knows? Let's see what happens. The Patriots are always good at Madden simulations. Alright, no score so far. Raiders up 3-0. Now it's tied 3-3. Must-win game for both these teams. Raiders up 6-3. Can anyone score a touchdown? No. 9-6 after halftime. Now it's 12-6. It's been a field goal game. Finally, the Raiders get on the board with a touchdown. 20-6. Patriots have done nothing offensively, and the Raiders are now blowing them out. 27-13. Game over. Raiders go on to win 27-13. They will play the Dolphins in a must-win game for both those teams, and the Patriots are eliminated. Let's see who wins that. Let's see who wins that game. All right, so Dolphins versus Raiders. The winner gets the 8 seed. The loser is out. So this was actually a simulation in my March Madness video for the NFL, and the Raiders went on to win. If the Raiders win this game, they play the Chiefs, which is a very sneaky matchup because the Raiders are very good at beating the Chiefs. I'm going to think the Raiders are going to win this game, but let's just go ahead and see who wins the game. Dolphins up 3-0 early on. Now it's tied 3-3. This is going to be another field goal game. Now Dolphins up 10-3. And the Raiders come back. Dolphins up 17-3. They want the 8 seed that they rightfully deserve. They are up 24-10. 24-17. Raiders now we're tied 24-24. Raiders making a comeback. Can they come back to win the game? Now they're up 31-24. Dolphins score 31-31. We are going to overtime. Who will win the game in OT? Will the Dolphins lose another game in overtime? Another overtime, double overtime, and finally the Dolphins kick a field goal and they win the game 34-31. It went into double overtime. You don't see that very much in the NFL because it's a playoff game and went into double overtime. And yeah, pretty much the play-in games meant nothing then because the Dolphins still end up with the 8 seed and the Colts still up to win the 7 seed, and the Raiders and Patriots don't make the playoffs. Now it's time to do the NFC side of the play-in game. So Cardinals versus the Washington football team. As I said earlier, the Washington football team is the 8th seed because in the NBA playoffs, the top division winners don't get the top seed, so they only get to be the 8th seed here. So that means they're going to have to win this game to make the playoffs. Well, also they could lose the game and then win the 9 and 10 game like we saw the Dolphins do. But anyway, so let's just see what happens. If I had to guess, I'm going to go Washington, probably in an upset here. Cardinals didn't even make the playoffs in real life. And I don't know, I thought Washington was actually pretty good in the Madden simulation. So let's just see who wins the game. Alright, so far it's still 0-0 through the first quarter. Washington finally gets on the board 3-0. This is for the 7th seed. Can anyone score? Washington up 10-0. Now it's 10-7. Now Arizona up 14-10. Will the 7th seed win the playing game again? It's 17-10. Now it's 24-10. Arizona is blowing them out. And it looks like we could have a very similar situation that we had on the AFC. Arizona wins 31-10, and they move on to play the Saints as the 17, and Washington will have to play the winner of the Vikings 49ers games to even make the playoffs. Right, so 49ers versus Vikings. The 49ers actually get Jimmy Garoppolo in this game. So, I mean, hey, the 49ers do usually win somehow with Jimmy Garoppolo. So maybe that gives them an advantage. As for the Vikings, who knows? They have Kirk Cousins. I would say Jimmy Garoppolo is probably a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins, but both are definitely on the hot seat for if they should even be with their team or not, but both probably will be with their team next year. Anyways, nothing about that. Let's see who wins this game to face Washington to see who gets the 8th seed. All right, Vikings already up 7-0. Will he break the curse of the higher seeds always winning so far? 14-3. It looks like it's not going to happen, though, but now 49ers down 14-10. Vikings go up 21-10. Now it's 21-13. 49ers still within a score. 21-16. Can they get on the board and take the lead? No. Vikings take a bigger lead. 28-16. Looks like the curse will not be broken. 28-23. And the higher seeds continue to win in this play-in tournament. Will that change in the next round when Washington and Vikings play to see who will get the 8th seed? So Washington versus the Vikings. Washington got blown out in the game against the Cardinals, and the Vikings blew out the 49ers. So with those stats, it seemed like the Vikings should win this game. However, that's probably not what's going to happen, as so far in these play-in games, the home team has always won, and the higher seed has always won. And if Washington wins this game, that means there's really no point to even do this play-in tournament. So I don't know, kind of hoping for the Vikings win here, so at least this play-in tournament actually really mattered and wasn't just a waste of time. Let's sim to the end of the game. Will we get parity, or will we have to see something different? So far, it's 0-0. Washington on the board first, 3-0. Now Vikings take a 7-3. Now Washington up 10-7. That's halftime score, 10-7. Now we're tied 10-10. Now Vikings up 17-10. Now they're up 24-10. Oh, we might see some upsets here. 24-17. Now we're tied again, 24-24. Well, the Vikings blow it. It looks like they will, 31-24. And the Vikings absolutely blow it, meaning this play-in tournament meant absolutely nothing, and the seeds don't even change at all. Colts still the 7th seed, Dolphins still the 8th seed, Cardinals still the 7th seed, and Washington is still the 8th seed after that play-in tournament. Now that that's over, we can finally get to the real thing. The first simulation will be the Chiefs-Dolphins. I'll simulate however many games it takes, obviously best of 7, so it could take 4 games, it could take 7 games. Let's see what happens. So game 1 of the Chiefs versus Dolphins series. What I think I'll do, I'll keep a score underneath, so I'll put a score right now. Obviously, it's 0-0 right now. And every time one team wins the game, I'll update it. So if Chiefs win the first game, I'll put a 1. Or if the Dolphins win the first game, I'll put a 1. And I'll keep doing that until 1 gets 4. So anyways, let's just sim to the end of the game. Who will win game 1 of Chiefs versus Dolphins? Alright, so far, Dolphins up 7-0, looking to take the early lead in the series. Still up 7-0. Now the Chiefs up 7-7. Now the Chiefs are up 10-7. Dolphins had to play 2 play-in games to even make it here, so that's already a disadvantage for them, but they're 10-10. Now Chiefs up 17-10. Now they are up 24-10. Chiefs pulling away here in game 1, 31-10. Dolphins trying to make it a little bit closer, 31-17, but the Chiefs go on to win game 1. And now let's go ahead and simulate game 2. It will still be Chiefs will still be the home team, and the Dolphins will be the road team. All right, game 2. Chiefs up 1-0 in the series. Let's see who wins this game. Can the Chiefs go up 2-0 in the series, or will the Dolphins draw even? All right, so far no score so far through the first. Chiefs take a 7-0 lead. Now they're up 14-0. Man, Dolphins not even getting a chance here so far. Now the Chiefs are up 17-0, 24-7. Man, no mercy for these Dolphins. Chiefs are just that good. They are not going to lose to you. Now they are blowing them out 44-7 as Chiefs take a 2-0 lead in the series. However, so far we've seen the home team have a very big advantage. So let's see if the Dolphins can fight back in the next 2 games. They're going to have to probably win the next 2 games to even stay competitive in the series. Next 2 games will be at the Dolphins Stadium. All right, so Chiefs up 2-0 in the series now. Let's see if the Dolphins can fight back and make the series a little bit closer. If the Chiefs win this game, however, the Dolphins will be in a 3-0 hole, and that is very hard to near impossible to climb out of. So this is a must-win game for the Dolphins. And so far, the home team has not lost yet in this video. We're through the second quarter, or no, we're to the second quarter and not a score yet. Well, we go to halftime and no score. Chiefs finally on the board right before halftime. 7-0, very low score game. Now it's 14-7. Now they're scoring some touchdowns. We're tied 14-14. Dolphins up 17-14. Now we're tied 17-17. Dolphins up 24-17. And the home team continues to win in this video, scoring a touchdown very late in the game to take a 24-17 win and draw the series closer. Chiefs lead 2-1 in the series. Let's see who wins Game 4. Can the Dolphins tie the series, or can the Chiefs take a 3-1 lead? All right, Game 4. Chiefs missed out on an opportunity in Game 3 to make this game a closeout game, but they can take a 3-1 series lead before going back home to play at their home stadium. But can the Dolphins tie the series and make this at least go to 6 games? Let's see what happens. All right, 0-0. Dolphins up 7-0 right now. Now they're up 10-0. Now Chiefs 10-7. Dolphins up 17-7. They are now it's 17-14. Trying to make the series get tied at 2-2. Dolphins up 24-14. 27-14. Now it's 27-17. Chiefs getting closer. 27-20. Now we're tied. 27-27. 30-27. Dolphins kick the game-winning field goal, and the series is tied at 2. Who would have thought that? After the Chiefs blew out the Dolphins, what, 44 to, what is it, 7 or 3 or something like that? It was a massive blowout. But now the Chiefs have to go back home in a Game 5 situation. They are tied 2-2. The Dolphins have a shot to pull off a big upset in the 7-game series. Let's see who wins Game 5. A massive Game 5 for both these teams, especially the Miami Dolphins. If they can win this game, then they could take a 3-2 series lead going back to home. If the Chiefs win this game, they'll be up 3-2. Knowing they still have a Game 7 possibly that they have to play at home, or they can close out the series in Game 6 at the Dolphins. Let's see who wins this game. All right. Who gets the first score of the game? Chiefs up 3-0. Dolphins like to see it this close, but now it's 10-0. Man, the home team has had such an advantage in this video, 17-3. Now it's 17-6. Can the Dolphins do anything? 26 down 2 touchdowns. They can knock it on the scoreboard. They've only gotten field goals 20-9, 23-9. 23-12. Dolphins just cannot score a touchdown. That's going to be a death of them in Game 5. 37-19 is the final score. Dolphins realize they could have really used this game to possibly help them in the series. Instead, Chiefs go up 37-19. They have not closed out the series, though. It is now Chiefs lead the series 3-2 as they go back to the Dolphins Stadium for Game 6. All right, for Game 6, the Chiefs have an opportunity to close out the series, but if it continues to go how it's gone in this video, the Dolphins will probably win this game, because so far I'm starting to see, and it seems impossible for the road team to win. Let's see if the Chiefs can break the curse. I have a feeling they will, but also I have a feeling the Dolphins win this game and they get blown out in Game 7. All right, who gets their Chiefs up 7-0 already? Now they're at 14-0. Will the curse finally be broken? 14-7, 21-7. Chiefs know they can close out the series here. They don't want to force a Game 7, and finally it looks like the road team's finally going to be able to win a game. 35-14, unless Dolphins can make a massive comeback. It's 38-14. Dolphins needed to keep the series alive, but the Chiefs just wanted to end it here. They wanted it more, and the Chiefs are going to move on to the next round, winning the series 4-2. They will play the winner of who wins the series of the Titans versus the Ravens, and that is the series that is coming up next. So for the rest of these AFC matchups, they will all be playoff matchups that actually happen in real life, but instead they're going to be 7 games, or best of 7 game series. So the first one is the Titans versus Ravens. Yeah, in the Madden video, the Titans didn't even make it out of the first round. Ravens did, I believe. I think they actually made it pretty far in that simulation, I think. I'm not exactly remembering. But doesn't really matter. Let's just see who wins Game 1 of Titans versus Ravens. I have a feeling it's going to be the Titans because the home team had a very big advantage. But the Chiefs have proven that the road team can win in this video, so who knows. All right, Ravens up 7-0. Now it's 7-3. All right, very low scoring. Ravens up 17-3, trying to take a 1-game lead on the road. That would be huge for the Ravens. 24-3. Titans are just not the great in the simulations. 24-10. Ravens take a 31-10 lead. Now it's 31-17, and the Ravens beat the Titans 31-17. in Game 1 on the road, so that already puts them at an advantage in the series, as when they go home, they'll at least have a 1-1 series tie, possibly even a 2-0 series lead. Let's see who wins Game 2. In Game 2, can the Titans bounce back and tie the series 1-1, or will the Ravens take a 2-0 series lead? Guess I'll see what happens. Ravens on the board first again, 7-0. Can the Titans just come? No, man, the Titans cannot compete with the Ravens, 21-0. They are the home team and just cannot keep up with this Ravens squad, who's up 28-7 now, 35-7, 35-14. Can the Titans make a big comeback? It's not going to look like it. 41-21. Man, the Ravens up 2-0 after being on the road to start off. They now go back to their home stadium with a 2-0 series advantage, and they're going to look to close out the series in 4 games if they can win both their home games. Ravens up 2-0 in the series. Titans on the road are going to have a very tough challenge ahead of themselves to tie this series up. Or not tie the series. Yeah, they're going to have to win 2 road games to tie the series up, but at least they want to at least win this game to avoid a 3-0 series deficit, but I don't know how they're going to do it. Ravens are the better overall team as well, so it'll be tough for the Titans, but let's see if they can do it. Ravens already up 7-0. Now it's 7-3. Ravens up 14-3. Man, the Titans just cannot compete with the Ravens. 17-3. Now it's 17-10. It's still a close game going to halftime. 20-10. Now it's 27-10. Man, I don't know about these Titans. They're going to have a very rough time. 30-24 though. Hold on a minute. It's close. It's close. It's close, but no, they can't come back. It got closer at the end. They were down at 17 points, and while I was talking, like I don't like their chances. All of a sudden, they were only down by 6, but not enough for the Titans. They needed that game badly. They're now down 3-0 in the series, as the Ravens look to close out the game, or close out the series in 4 games. In Game 4, Ravens up 3-0 in the series. Titans are going to have to win this game to avoid elimination. However, a 3-0 series deficit is very hard to overcome. For the Titans, it might already be game over. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens looking to end the series in 4 and face the Chiefs in the next round. All right, Ravens already up 7-0. Now it's 7-3. Very similar to the last game. Went 14-3. Ravens still have the lead. Titans not able to get on the scoreboard. 14-6 going into halftime. Now it's 14-9. It's 14-12. Titans keeping it close. They're not getting blown out this game. Now they take the 19-14 lead. Now Ravens back up 22-14. Now it's 26-22. Titans to avoid elimination. Now they're down 29-26. Now it's tied in overtime. Titans take the lead and they avoid elimination and force a Game 5 as they win 32-29 in overtime. Whoa. I thought it was over for the Titans, but they go on the road to win. Now they go back home down 3-1. Maybe there's a chance for the Titans. Can they become the first ever team to get out of a 3-0 series deficit? It's going to be very impossible. I said very impossible because it probably is impossible, but they have a home game coming up next, so let's see if they can do it. In Game 5, Titans looking to avoid elimination, down 3-1 in the series. They were down 3-0. They somehow pulled a win out of really nowhere. I did not see it coming. I thought the Ravens were going for a 4-0 series sweep, but the Titans stay in it, and now can they win at home? Can they force the series into a Game 6? And if they force it to a Game 6, then it's a much more winnable series. But so far, the road team has had a very big advantage so far. So in this series, as they have won 3 out of the 4 games. Let's see if the Ravens can continue that trend. All right, Titans on the board first, 7-0. Now the Ravens on the board 7-3. Titans taking a 14-3 lead. Man, everyone counted them out being down 3 on the series, but they're staying in it so far, 14-10. So far, no score so far. Now the Ravens take the lead 17-14. Now they're up 24-14. And hold on a minute. Now it's 24-17. And wow, look at the Titans were going to avoid elimination again. But instead, the Ravens end up blowing them out after the Titans had a double-digit lead. Yeah, the Titans absolutely blew that game when they looked like they should have won. 34-17. Ravens will move on to face the Chiefs, winning the series 4-1. Next matchup is the Steelers versus the Browns. Steelers versus Browns. In real life, the Browns blew out the Steelers in 1 game, but in a 7-game series, let's see who actually holds on to win the series. I still think the Browns will win this series, but who knows? I mean, the Steelers might be able to win it. I mean, I really have no clue how this 7-game series is going to turn out. All they can do is sim and see what happens. Browns up 7-0 early on. Now it's 7-7. All right, Browns up 10-7 now in the second quarter. Now it's tied again, 10-10. Steelers are doing exactly what the Browns are doing. They're matching them for every move they do. Now Steelers up 17-10. They make a move of their own. Can the Steelers win game one after being blown out in real life, 24-10? Now it's 24-17. Can Browns come back to win? They cannot. Steelers take game one, 24-17. But it was a close game, and I have a feeling this series is going to be very close. This one could go down to 7 games. Let's see who wins game two. Game two, Steelers have a 1-0 series lead. Browns looking to tie up the series before going home to really take the advantage in the series. All right. Still so far, no score. Browns take a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Now it's tied again, 7-7. Now Steelers up 10-7. Now we're tied 10-10. Very similar to how the last game went. Steelers up 17-10. We're tied 17-17. Browns now take the lead 20-17. Steelers now take the lead 24-20. Now Browns take another lead 27-24. Back and forth game. We're tied. Browns up 34-27. Can the Steelers score? They cannot. And the Browns tie up the series a game apiece in game two. They go back home with the series tied 1-1, and for the Browns, that's all you could have asked for at least the series to be tied 1-1 before going home to try to win both your home games. Let's see if the Browns can do it. Let's see if they can win their next 2 games, or will the Steelers keep the series close, or maybe can they win the 2 games on the road? With the series tied 1-1, let's see who's able to take advantage in the series to go up 2-1. Browns could really use this to keep their advantage of having really home field advantage. They took home field advantage after winning a game on the road. I guess let's see what happens. Browns take a 3-0 lead. Steelers now up 7-3. Browns now take the lead 10-7. Back and forth games so far. Steelers up 14-10. Now they're up 21-10. They take a bigger advantage, but Browns make it a touchdown game again. Now the Steelers up 2 touchdowns, 28-13. Now they're starting to blow them out. 31-20. Still close, but not really. 38-20. The Steelers are going to go on to win game three, take back home field advantages. Now the Browns are going to look to win game 4 at home to even the series back up to 2 games apiece. Steelers have a 2-1 series lead. Okay, game 4. Can the Browns even the series up 2 games apiece? All right, no score so far. Browns up 7-0. Now they're up 13-0. They missed the extra point. It looks like 13-3. Browns need this game badly to even the series out 2 games apiece. It's 20-10 going into halftime. Looks like Browns going to be able to do it, but can the Steelers make a comeback? They're up 27-10, and this series has so far been a back-and-forth series. We're close, though, 27-24. Hold on a minute, but no, the Browns hold on. They hold the Steelers from coming back, and the series is tied 2 games apiece. Chiefs and Dolphins was tied 2 games apiece, too, but that went a little bit differently. This one's been back and forth. This is a series that looks like it's going down to 7 games. We know at least it'll be going down to 6 games. The Steelers are at home in the next game for Game 5. Game 5, both teams looking to go up a game in the series. So in Game 6, they're looking to close it out. But first, they got to win Game 5. Let's jump ahead and see who wins the game. All right, Steelers up 3-0. 6-0. A very field goal game so far. But now Browns take the lead 7-6. Now Pittsburgh up 20-7. Both teams know this game is very important to take the 3 games to 2 series lead. It is 23-10. Steelers looking like they might be able to hold on and take the series advantage, 31-17. Browns are not going to be able to make a comeback in this game, 34-17. Steelers up 3 games to 2 in the series. They're going to have to go to Cleveland next, though, and try to close out the series there. And the Browns will be looking to force a Game 7 from their home and force a Game 7 at the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they got to win Game 6 to avoid elimination. Browns versus Steelers, Game 6. Browns, like I've said already, trying to avoid elimination. Steelers looking to close out the series in 6 games. Let's see what happens. Browns up 3 games. Or sorry, I was about to say 3 games. Browns up 3-0. Now it's tied 3-3. Very field goal game. Now it's 10-6 as Browns get to score the first touchdown. They're up 13-6. We are tied 13-13. Steelers up 20-13. Browns gotta get going if they want to win this game and avoid elimination. 27-20. Now we're tied 27-27. We'll go to overtime. Will someone hit the game winner? We are in overtime. 27-27. Who's gonna win? Steelers win, and they close out the series in overtime, 30-27. And in real life, the Browns moved down, but instead, in a 7-game series, or best of 7 game series, the Steelers win in 6 games. 30-27 is the final score. It looked like the Browns were going to have it until they didn't. Steelers advanced in 6 games. The next simulation is the Bills versus the Colts. So Bills versus Colts. In real life, the Bills won this game. It was actually a very close game between the Bills and Colts. In a best-of-7 game series, I'm sure the Bills will probably win this game, as the higher seeds usually do have the advantage in a 7-game series. But who knows? Maybe the Colts can pull off a huge upset. They are actually pretty close in record, like in their how many games they've won and lost. So, I mean, obviously the Bills do have the advantage. I think the Bills are the better team, but let's see what happens. Bills up 7-0 already. Can the Colts make it close? It's 10-0. Now the Colts get on the board 10-3, 17-3. Colts are just not being able to score a touchdown right now. We're through halftime. It is 17-3 still. Colts 17-6. Bills still have the lead. Now it's 20-6. It's still a 2-touchdown game, but the Colts have not been able to score a touchdown yet. And the Bills win 23-6 in a very defensive game for the Bills. The Bills defense came up to play. Or they showed up to play in this game. They win 23-6. They take the 1-0 series lead. And the next game will be right back at the Bills Stadium. We are at game 2, Bills versus Colts. Colts are looking to tie up the series, and the Bills are going to take a 2-0 series lead before going to the Colts Stadium. If the Colts win this game, they're going to have an advantage in the series. So it's a very important game for the Colts. Just like every game is important for any team to win. Bills up 7-0, and the Colts scored. Colts, can they even score a touchdown? I don't know. I have not seen them score a touchdown yet in these simulations. 10-3. Colts finally score a touchdown. There you go. Now they're up 24-10. Whoa, where did that come from? 24-13. Colts looking to take game 2, 31-13. Man, the Bills choke in this game, and the Colts take game 2 to tie the series up at a game apiece. The next 2 games are at the Colts Stadium too, and they're looking to take a big advantage. 31-13. Colts win. Series tied 1-1. Colts are looking to pull off a massive upset in the series. They are looking to take a 2-1 series lead at home, and the Bills looking to take a 2-1 series lead on the road. Let's see who wins this game to take that 2-1 series advantage. Bills up 3-0 early on. Colts take a 7-3 lead. They're at home. They want to show the Bills who's boss. 14-6. So far, no one's scoring in this second quarter. Bills get a touchdown, 14-3. We're in the third quarter, very close game. No one scores the third quarter. Now it's 20. We're tied, 21-21. Bills take a 24-21 lead. This is game time for the Colts. Can they score? 28-24, 35-24. Colts take a 2-1 series advantage. The Bills in the March Madness video I did went all the way to the Super Bowl to play against the Packers. But in this series, they are already down 2-1 as the Colts have another game at home to take possibly a 3-1 series advantage. The Bills are going to have to win game 4 to really stay in the series. This seems like a very must-win situation for the Bills to avoid the dreaded 3-1 series disadvantage. They had a great game 1, but since then the Colts have just continued to win. Up 2-1 in the series, but the Colts looking to win at home to take a 3-1 series lead as the 7th seed. Bills score first, 3-0. Now it's 6-0. They're only getting field goals though. The Colts get a touchdown, 7-6. They take the lead. They're in the lead, 10-6 after halftime. Now they're up 17-6. Man, the Bills cannot do anything in the simulations. Colts up 17-12. Can they hold on? Now the Bills take a 20-17 lead. Now they're up 23-17. And the Bills avoid the dreaded 3-1 series deficit as they take game 4 to tie the series back up 2 games apiece. They go back home for game 5, and all of a sudden the momentum has swinged back to the Bills as they once again reclaim home field advantage for this series. So the Bills versus the Colts in game 5. The Bills were able to come back in game 4 to actually hold on to somehow tie the series up 2-2. Colts missed a very big opportunity to take the 3-1 series lead. They'll have an opportunity to take a 3-2 series lead before going back home. And for the Colts, they obviously want to do that. But momentum has completely switched over to the Bills, in my opinion. So, I don't know. The Colts are going to swing momentum back in their favor. Let's send them to the end of the game to see who wins game 5. So far, no score. Bills up 7-0. Now we're tied 7-7. Very low scoring game as we go through halftime. Colts up 10-7 at halftime. Very low scoring game, very defensive game, but the Colts are fine with that. They're up 21-7. Now it's 21-14. We're still close. Can the Bills come back? They cannot. Colts win game 5, and man, they just right now they're probably wishing they didn't give up game 4 because they would have won the series right there. But instead, they take a 3-2 series lead. They go back home. the Bills are going to have to look to avoid elimination on the road. We could get a very massive upset here if the Colts are able to beat the Bills in this game. They would take the series 4-2. If the Bills win this game, we can get our first Game 7 so far, and the Bills would be back at home and they would have the advantage once again. But the road teams have done very well in the series, so let's see if the Bills can avoid elimination in a Game 6 to force a Game 7. Bills up 7-0. Now Colts 7-3, 7-6. Can they score a touchdown? Bills up 10-6. Now it's 10-13. Colts looking to close the series out here. 17-13. Bills take the lead at halftime. 20-17. Colts take the lead again. Must-win game for the Bills. Can they score? It's 23-17. Bills need to score right now. They need a touchdown badly. They're in the lead. 24-23. And the Bills once again come from behind to win as they force a Game 7. We are going to 7 games for the Bills versus Colts as the Bills come back late in the game. Colts miss another opportunity to close out the series. This is really their first time they had an opportunity to close out the series, but had they won Game 4 and then they went on to win Game 5, it would have been a huge advantage for them. But instead, Bills go on the road, force a Game 7. They win 24-23. Who will win Game 7 to move on to play the Steelers in the next round? In a winner-takes-all game, a must-win scenario. Win or go home. Bills versus Colts, Game 7. It looked like the Colts were going to close out the series in 6, but the Bills went on to win Game 6. Now they have home field advantage for Game 7. Will we get an upset? Will the 7-seeded Colts move on to the next round, or will the 2-seeded Bills do what most of us expected them to do, win the game and move on? I guess we're going to have to see what happens here. Bills up 7-0 in a Game 7 scenario. Can Colts score a touchdown? Colts 7-3. Now it's 7-6. Bills still have the lead. A very defensive game. Now Bills up 14-6, 14-9 at halftime. Colts need to score a touchdown to get in this game. 14-9, so now 17-9. Still touchdown game. 17-5. They don't get the 2-point conversion. 18-17. Hold on. Colts take the lead, but Bills hit the game-winning field goal, and the upset will not happen. Bills win in 7 games. Oh boy. We were so close to seeing the 7-seeded Colts move on in this best-of-7 series. However, the Colts avoid the upset scare, and they will move on to the next round to face the Steelers as they win in 7 games, 4-3. Wow. Should have been eliminated a couple times there, but man, the Colts missed their opportunity repetitively, continuing to miss their opportunity. And man, if the Colts would have just got that 2-point conversion after they got a touchdown, this would have been a whole different game. But instead, the Bills kicked the game-winning field goal to win in 7 games. Now on to the NFC side, where the first one will be the Packers versus the Washington football team. So the Green Bay Packers versus the Washington football team. The Packers are a much higher overall rated team. I would expect them to win this series. It makes sense. But you know, the Washington football team, you know, they won the NFC East, but they don't get the 4 seed, like I've said already, because in the NBA the division leaders don't get the higher seeds. They just get whatever the record is. So that does change. Like in the AFC, pretty much every matchup besides the Chiefs and Dolphins were actually playoff matchups. In the NFC, we don't have any matchup that was actually a playoff matchup, unless, you know, we go on to the next round. But for the first round, we don't have any of them because it's Buccaneers, Rams, Seahawks, Bears, Saints, Cardinals. Because of the Washington football team not being the 4 seed, it really changes up all the other games. So all the other games will be, you know, fresh games that have not happened in real life. So that should be interesting. But for the first one is Packers versus Washington football team. If the Washington football team wins this series, that would be a huge upset, but I don't expect it. Let's just see what happens. Packers up 7-0 early on. Can the football team get on the scoreboard? 14-0 Packers. 21-0 Packers. Football team has done absolutely nothing. 24-20 at halftime. 31-0. Man, the Washington football team finally gets on the board. Hey, at least they tried. 34-7. They'll probably get the backers at this point for the Packers, and they win 34-7. They win it handily over the Washington football team. They take game 1. Now on to game 2. Game 2, Washington's going to try to avoid whatever they did in the last game. They're going to try to do the exact opposite, but I don't really see it happening. I don't like the Washington football team's odds to tie the series up 1 game apiece here, but who knows? It might happen. Washington up 3-0. Hey, look at that. They're winning 7-3, but it probably won't be for long. Is now Packers up 14-3, 14-6. Washington football team still kind of in it, 21-6. They are failing to score a touchdown. Now it is 28-6, 28-12. I would say the Washington football team has fallen out of this game. They're going to have to look to when they go back home to play the Packers. 35-12. This is something that happened with Chiefs and Dolphins, though, and the Dolphins went on to win the next two games. So will we see the very similar situation possibly? Probably not, because the Packers have a very much higher overall than the Washington football team. Packers win this game. They win game 2. They're up 2-0 in the series. Now on to game 3, where Washington will be the home team for the next 2 games. So game 3, Washington's going to somehow look to put the series at 2-1. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I would not expect it, but who knows? Maybe it'll be similar to the Chiefs and Dolphins, where the Dolphins just somehow pull 2 games out of nowhere to win. But I don't like Washington football team's odds. I'm thinking this might be a 4-0 series sweep. Packers up 7-0. Can Washington football team do anything offensively? I've not seen them do anything offensively so far in the simulation besides the play-in game. 14-0. I mean, they're keeping it kind of close, but now it's 21-0 as Washington football team has not scored at all on offense. This could be a shutout, 24-8. Washington got on the board, but 27-8. Packers take a 3-0 series lead. They're going to try and do what the Ravens were not able to do and close out the series in 4 games. And I'm really liking the Packers' odds to do that. Unless Washington pulls a massive upset, it's looking more and more likely that the Packers will win in 4 games. But hey, let's see what happens. There's still a game 4. So game 4, can Washington avoid elimination similar to how the Titans did? I don't like their odds. Like I've said throughout this whole simulation, they have looked very bad, and the Packers have looked very good. So I'm thinking we might have a 4-0 series sweep here for the first time. And yeah. Let's see who gets on the scoreboard for us. Packers up 3-0. Washington, this is your chance. Washington score. Oh my God, it's still 3-0. Washington's on the board 7-3. They have a 10-3 lead at halftime. I mean, in 4 games, you would think even a bad team would be able to win one of those games. 13-3. And the Washington defense showed why they have good defense, and finally they get a win. And once again, we will not have a 4-game sweep. Washington football team avoids the sweep. Their defense came to play today. Their offense did the literal bare minimum to actually do something. They went, what was it, 13-10, and they win game 4. And they will live to see a game 5 against the Packers, but they will have to play at the Packers home stadium. I don't like I said throughout the whole simulation, Washington football's odds are very slim to win the simulation, but they're still alive. Packers missed a very prime opportunity to close out the series in 4, but Washington somehow snuck out a win after being blown out in 3 consecutive games. They're going to look to force a game 6 in the series, but the Packers are now back at home, and after thinking they had it easy, they're actually going to be prepared for this game, in my opinion. I guess we'll see who wins it. Packers up 7-0. Washington on the board 7-3. Packers now up 10-3, 17-3, 20-3. Can barely keep up. Packers keep scoring that quickly. It's a 2-touchdown game at halftime, 20-6. Washington's not out of it yet, but they need to score quickly. 27-6. Okay, now they're probably out of it. 30-6. Washington once again could not score a touchdown when they needed it most. And yeah, well, they didn't get swept. I guess you could say that about yourself, Washington. You didn't get swept in the series, but the Packers do win 30-6. And they move on to the next round. They will face the winner of the Buccaneers and Rams series. So the Super Bowl champs have the 4 seed against the 5-seeded Los Angeles Rams. They are looking to take a 1-0 series lead in this game. Let's see who will take the 1-0 series lead, honestly. I mean, that'd be a pretty big upset if the Buccaneers don't get out of the first round, especially since they won the Super Bowl. But who knows? You never know. They're 4 seed because they only had the 4th best record in the NFC. Buccaneers up 7-0. Rams tie the game at 7. We're tied 7-7. So far, no score in the second quarter. Now the Buccaneers up 10-7. We are through halftime. 10-7 still. Now it is 17-7. 17-14. It's still very close. Can anyone get on the scoreboard in the 4th quarter? No. Defense was massive in the 4th quarter. And the Buccaneers win 17-14 to win game 1 of the series. Now look to game 2 to try to take a 2-0 series lead over the Los Angeles Rams. Rams kept it close in game 1. However, Buccaneers were able to hold on to win game 1. So now the Rams are looking to tie the series up at 1 game apiece, and the Buccaneers are looking to take a 2-0 series lead. And it might make it a little hard for the Rams to come back in the series, but not impossible. 3-0, 3-0 so far, the Rams up. No touchdowns through the first quarter. Will we get a score in the second quarter? Very defensive game. Buccaneers, whoa, all of a sudden get 14 points very quickly. 14-10 at halftime. That was 21-10. I don't know where all the scoring came from. That came out of absolutely nowhere. 24-13 in the fourth quarter. Buccaneers are up 31-13, 31-20, and the Buccaneers take game 2. The Super Bowl champions are looking to possibly maybe even sweep the series, but the Rams do have home games for the next 2 games. They're looking ahead to that because I don't know where that came from. It was 3-0 Rams for a while, and all of a sudden the Buccaneers got 14 points, and then it got ugly quickly for the Rams. Buccaneers take game 2. Guess let's see what happens in game 3. Rams are looking to avoid the dreadful 3-0 deficit. They're going to need this game to really stay in the series to try to make it 2-1. Buccaneers looking to go up 3-0 though, and that would be very advantageous for them to possibly even sweep the series. But the Rams are at home, so let's see what happens. Buccaneers up 7-0 early on, 10-0. I was about to say 14-0, but it was only a field goal. 10-0. Rams at home have not scored at all. 17-0. Rams getting blown out in their home stadium. I guarantee you they are getting booed right now. 24-0. Man, Rams, you needed this game so much, but the Super Bowl champs, Buccaneers, are too much to handle for the Rams, as the Buccaneers take a 3-0 series lead, as they're not going to try to become the first team to sweep another team so far in the simulation. The Packers looked like for sure they were going to be the first ones to do it, but they screwed it up. Ravens also looked like they were going to do it, but they also screwed that one up. But Buccaneers up 3-0, and who knows, maybe they can beat the Rams in 4 games. I guess let's see if they can do it, but I don't like the Rams' odds of even winning the series, but it's obviously not impossible. The Rams could win the next 4 games and shock the world, but you know, I don't see that one happening. Rams have to win this game to avoid elimination. Buccaneers, like I said already, trying to be the first team to complete the series sweep in the simulation. Let's see if they can do it. Buccaneers up 3-0 early on. Rams 3-3. Man, they have just struggled. Their offense has struggled. No wonder why they dumped Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford. They would probably be winning this game right now if they did that. 24-3. I don't like the odds of the Rams avoiding getting swept, but it's 24-16. Hold on, can they make a comeback? Oh, we are tied, 24-24. What a comeback by the Rams, but it's all for naught as the Buccaneers sweep the series 27-24. They had to win the final game in overtime, but man, they almost blew it there for a second. The Rams are making an epic comeback, but the Rams get swept in 4 games as the 5 seed. The Buccaneers move on to face the Packers in the next round. The next simulation is the Seahawks versus the Bears. So Seahawks versus Bears. I'm not liking the Bears' odds, but however, in the March Madness simulation, the Bears went all the way to the Final Four, so it is very much possible for the Bears to actually do good in these simulations. We've only seen one upset so far in these series, and that was the Ravens beating the Titans as the 5 seed, which really wasn't that much of an upset. We almost got it for Colts and Bills, but the Colts absolutely blew their opportunity twice. So maybe it's the Bears' turn to pull off a big upset, because I don't know, the Madden does really like the Bears in these simulations, but I don't know. I don't like maybe they can win 1 or 2 games. I think the Bears would probably win 2 games, but I think overall the Seahawks would probably win in a best of 7 series. But hey, that's what we have a simulation for. It's not me guessing. It's seeing what is going to happen. Bears up 7-0 already, 7-3. Now it's 10-7. Bears had an early lead, but now they are down 10-7. 17-7 at halftime. No, 20-7 at halftime. Bears got up to an early lead, but now they cannot score. Now it's 20-14. Can they make the comeback? They're up 21-20. Hold your horse. Can the Seahawks score? 28-20. Seahawks. I don't know how the Seahawks won that game. I'm not sure how they won that game. They were down 28-20. They got a touchdown 2-point conversion. They must have kicked an onside kick or something, because somehow, in a very short amount of time, they got 3 points. The game didn't even go into overtime either. At least I don't think it went overtime. I'm going to see the score box. I'm pretty sure it never said overtime. So somehow, some way, the Seahawks win the first game. Don't know how they scored. I don't know how they scored that 11 points in the fourth quarter. It didn't really make much sense there. But hey, Seahawks win 31-28. I guess I can't question it. On to game 2. Heartbreak for the Bears in Game 1, as they should have won the game being up 28-20 late, and somehow let the Seahawks score 11 points with like 2 or 3 minutes left to go in the game. Still don't know how that happened. But now the Bears looking to come back from that and win this game. All right, who's going to score for Seahawks on the board for 7-0. We are tied 7-7, 14-7 now. Seahawks, now we are tied again 14-14. Seeming like a close game this time. 17-14. That will be your halftime score. 17-14. We are tied 17-17. Seahawks now up 24-17. The Bears have been able to match what the Seahawks are doing. Maybe not this time. It is 27-17. Can the Chicago Bears make a massive comeback? They cannot do what the Seahawks did in the last game. 2 very close games so far, but it doesn't even matter for the Bears because they are at a 2-0 series deficit when they could have won 2 games. I mean, the Bears could be up 2 games to nothing right now with how these games are going, and it wouldn't have been shocking. But the Seahawks hold on to win these 2 games. Now the Bears are the home team for the next 2 games, so let's see if they can even up the series, as this has been so far a very close series. For the Bears, it's a pretty much must-win situation here, as they should have, or they at least should have won the first game. And I'll give the Seahawks the benefit of the doubt for the second game. They should have won that game. So really the series should be 1-1 right now. But instead it's 2-0. So that's why the Bears have to win this game. They could not go down 3-0 in the series. So very important game for the Bears. And also for the Seahawks, who are looking to, in a very close series, really pretty much almost close it out in 4 games. 14-0. The Bears must be better on the road. It is 21-0. Wow, the Bears missed their opportunity in the first 2 games. As Game 3, they are getting pounded on right now. 28-7, 35-7. Wow, 35-14, and it just was never a close game. 38-14. The Bears have missed so many opportunities to win games, but now they are down 3. They're down 3 games in the series to nothing. And in Game 4, they're gonna have to win to avoid elimination. But for the Seahawks, man, that probably just won in the series here, and they could sweep the series. A series I did not think would be swept. It could very well be swept. Let's see what happens in Game 4. For Game 4, Bears in a must-win situation. I did not think they'd be swept so far, especially how Game 1 went when they should have won the game, and I thought they had it. Instead, the Seahawks are up 3-0 in the series. Guess let's see what happens in Game 4. Can the Bears avoid elimination? Seahawks up 3-0 right now. Bears take a 7-3 lead. Now they're at 14-3, and it looks like the Bears are doing a nice job avoiding elimination. Up 21-3. And the Seahawks, sometimes their offense just doesn't show up, and this is one of those games where they don't show up. Can they make a big comeback like they did in the last game? It does, like in Game 1. Doesn't look like it. 35-10. The Bears avoid elimination. They move on to see a Game 5. They go to the Seahawks down 3-1. And honestly, I wouldn't even be shocked if the Bears won the next 3 games because, you know, they have looked impressive. Especially in Games 1 and 2, the Bears looked really good. They just cannot do what they did in Game 3. But they have to play at the Seahawks, and that will be a tough game to win for the Bears. The Seahawks are looking to close out the series in 5 games. They missed their opportunity in Game 4. The Bears are looking to pull off a major upset and possibly win the series. After being down 3 games, obviously they have to win the next 3 games to do that. They've already won 1. Can the Bears win 4 in a row to win the series? I mean, I don't like their odds, but it's definitely better odds for the Seahawks to win 1 game in the next 3 games, and the Bears win 3 more games and the Seahawks win none. But who knows? It is possible. Let's just see what happens. Can the Bears avoid elimination and force a Game 6 at their home stadium? Who gets the early lead to start off the game so far? The Bears get a 7-0 lead. That's what the Bears wanted to see at the beginning of this game. 7-7. Now Bears up 14-7. 17-7. This is exactly how the Bears wanted this game to go. Their defense to play good and their offense to play good. 17-14. The game is close though. Now Bears 24-14. 24-17. Game's close late. Bears pull ahead 31-24. Can the Seahawks come back? They cannot this time. The Bears do not do what they did in Game 1, and they win the game 31 to, what was it, 24? Or was it a 3-point game? Yeah, 31-24. Bears win Game 5. They force a Game 6 at home, and the Bears might be able to make a comeback. You never know. They were down 3-0, and now the series is 3-2. Can they force a Game 7 and Game 6? Let's see what happens. Momentum has seemed like it has switched in favor of the Chicago Bears. They're down 3-2 in the series. If they win this game, all of a sudden this series has taken a whole different turn. The Seahawks are now at the 3rd game that they have a shot at closing out the series with. Can they do it this game? Or will the Bears continue to roll on and tie the series at 3 games apiece? Let's see what happens. All right, who's going to get the early lead? Seahawks up 3-0 early on, 6-0. Bears take a 7-6 lead. Bears up 14-6. Now it's 14-13, 20-14 Seahawks. At halftime, it's going to be 21-20. Now it's 23-21 Seahawks. Bears up 28-23. In the fourth quarter, it's a close game. Bears take a 35-23 lead. Oh, boy. Wow. 38-23. The Bears would have just won game one like they should have. The series would be over. But after the Seahawks had a 3-0 lead in the series, the Bears force a Game 7. Whoa! Did not see that one coming. The Bears are right now playing at a whole nother level. Can they pull off the upset in Game 7? I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. In a shocking turn of events, after the Seahawks were up 3-0, the Bears have come and won 3 games in a row to force a Game 7. Can the Seahawks finally win a game, or can the Bears pull off the unthinkable and come from being down 3-0 to win in 7 games? That would be a huge upset. But the Seahawks are the home team. Can they avoid elimination here? Man, this is crazy. Seahawks up 7-0. They have a chip on their shoulder. Bears tie the game 7-7. Now Seahawks up 14-7. Now they're up 21-7. 28-7, man. The Seahawks are like, we are not going to blow this series. And the Bears, all of a sudden, are just got to be drained of momentum. They had all the momentum in their favor. 35-17. It's 35-24. Can they make a comeback? It's 35-27. They tried at the end. They tried to make a comeback. And this is the second time where it seemed like we were possibly going to get an upset. But the Seahawks, in 7 games, do win the series. And the Bears have got to think about Game 1 and realize how big of a missed opportunity that was. And how much of a missed opportunity Game 7 was as well. Because they had all the momentum in their favor, winning 3 games in a row. But instead, the Seahawks win in 7 games. They advance to play the winner of the Saints and Cardinals series. This series is our last chance at getting a major upset into the next round. It's the last simulation of the first round. Can the Cardinals win a 7-game series, a best-of-7 game series? I don't like the odds. The Saints are a really good team. Drew Brees, obviously is retiring, or is retired now, but obviously this is going off last year's team, so that's why, Mitch Trubisky's still with the Bears, and Saints still have Drew Brees. And that's why I really like the Saints in this simulation, but who knows? Maybe the Cardinals can pull off an upset, something that the Colts and Bears were unable to do in 7 games, losing Game 7 when they really should have probably won the game or won that series. I think both the Bears and the Colts are in a very similar situation where I think both teams actually played better than the higher seeded, but the higher seed still won. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Cardinals can pull off the unthinkable. Saints are already up 7-0, and yeah, maybe not. 14-7 though. Now it's 14-10. Cardinals coming back, and it's 17-10. At halftime, it is 17-10. Now it's 24-10. This is only Game 1, so I mean, it's not end of the road for the Cardinals, obviously. 31-17. Can they make a comeback in this game? It doesn't look like it. Looks like the Saints are going to hold on to win this game. High-scoring game, 41-31. Very high-scoring game. As Saints win Game 1, Cardinals will be looking for Game 2 to try not to go down 2-0 in the series. Oh, very high-scoring game in the last game. Cardinals just looking to, not get down 2-0 in the series. That would be not good for the Cardinals if they were looking to pull off this upset. They probably need to win this game and take over home field advantage. Saints up 3-0, 7-3. Cardinals take the lead in the series. Or it's not the lead in the series. Holy crap, the lead in the game. Now the Saints have the lead 17-7 while I was, rambling on there. 17-14. We're tied at 17-17 in the third quarter. Cardinals are pretty much a must-win for them. They're up 20-17 now. It's tied 20-20. Cardinals up 23. Oh, and the Saints win the game 27-23. A very big missed opportunity for the Cardinals to win this game. Saints take a 2-0 series lead, but a missed opportunity for the Cardinals. They were up 23-20 there at one point before the Saints ended up scoring a touchdown to win the game. Cardinals down 2-0 in the series have to look at this as a must-win situation, as obviously it's possible to come down from being down 3-0, as the Bears almost did it in the last simulation, but the Bears were not able to do it, so obviously being down 3-0 was not a good situation to put yourself in. So the Cardinals, as the home team, could really use a win here against the Saints. All right, Cardinals on the board, 7-0 early on. They have the lead. Now they're up 14-0 over the Saints. They're using this home field advantage. 14-7, Saints crawling back, but now it's 21-7 at halftime. 21-14, Saints keeping it close. Cardinals now up double digits, 24-14 in the fourth quarter. The Saints now 24-21. Can the Cardinals hold on? Yes, they do. I was thinking the Saints were going to get either a field goal or a touchdown there to win the game or something. But the Cardinals hold on to win Game 3, 24-21. A much-needed victory for the Cardinals as now in a Game 4 situation, they have a chance at tying the series. And the Saints in Game 4 will have a shot to take a 3-1 series lead. Game 4, Cardinals looking to tie the series up 2 games apiece. Saints looking to take a 3-1 lead, as I've already said. Let's sim to the end of the game to see what happens. Saints up 7-0 this time. I don't think last game they even led the entire game. Cardinals, not a good start for them. They're down 14-7. Now it's 21-7. 21-10. Cardinals looking to get back in this game after halftime. 21-13. Now it's 28-13. 35-13. This is going to be a blowout. For the Cardinals, you're lucky you won Game 3. Well, it's 35-27. Now it's 42-27. Okay, now it's a blowout. Cardinals had to be lucky they won Game 3. The Saints could have swept the series there. Instead, now they're down 3-1 as they head back to the Saints. And for the Cardinals, not really liking their odds at winning the series, but they're still in it. Who knows? They could win the next 3 games to possibly win the series. Anything's possible. So with the Cardinals having their backs against the wall in this Game 5, down 3-1, they have to win this game to avoid elimination. The Saints are looking to close out the series and move on to the next round to face the Seahawks. I guess we're going to see what happens. Let's see who gets the first score on the board. Saints do 7-0. Now they're up 14-0, and that's not a good start for the Cardinals. Down 17-0. 17-7 at halftime. It's 20-7. Man, just for the Cardinals, the upset's looking like it's not going to happen. They're only down by 10, so they could still come back. Now the Saints up by 17. Going to be the end of the road here for the Cardinals. The Saints win in 5 games, winning 27-17 in the 5th game. So now let's take a look at the bracket. The only upset we got was the Ravens over the Titans. We almost got the Colts beating the Bills and the Bears beating the Seahawks. Both those series were close, but just didn't happen. And, you know, that's what these 7-game series are for. They really they makes them avoid the upsets. Usually the best teams always win the 7-game series. And honestly, I look at all these teams, I think the better team won in all of them. Maybe the Browns and Steelers is the only exception, but, you know, I guess, what do I know? But yeah, I'm going to have to split this video into 2 parts because it's a very long video. So that means in the next part, we will finish this out. We'll start with the Chiefs and Ravens, and we'll do the AFC side and the NFC side, and then figure out who wins the NFL Finals. I guess is what it'd be called. It wouldn't be called the Super Bowl. It'd be called the NFL Finals. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the part 2. Stay tuned for part 2. Not exactly sure when it's going to be out, but it will be out shortly. Peace.